ability to calculate numerical information formula just like calculator. Excel can add, subtract, multiply, and divide. In this lesson we will learn how to do that. إذا بقدر أعمل calculation في الإكسل مثل addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, exponent. في عندنا العمليات معروفة عندكم plus, minus, asterisk for multiplication. المultiplication ما بستعمل معها ضرب، بستعمل نجمة بدالها تمثل الضرب نفسه. forward slash اللي هو القسمة، و الرمز بيمثل على exponent. هذا اللي بيجي مع shift 6 shift 6 exponent. Something called cell reference. Cell reference means cell address. We usually use cell reference instead of using the same number. Example: all formulas in Excel must begin with equal sign. Okay, and before write anything, you should write equal, then write the calculation. 20 plus 25 plus 34 plus 20. Instead of doing that, we should use the cell reference. A2 means the cell that contains 20, A3 the cell that contains 25, A4 the cell that contains 34, A5 the cell that contains 22, plus 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 plus. We'll get the result after pressing enter. Also, we can use functions. These functions, we will tell you inshallah what is function. Okay, now let's go to exercise. Exercise number 2, formula practice. Previously we have downloaded exercise number 2. Open the our practice workbook, formula practice Excel. We have a file called formula practice. Click the challenge tab in the bottom left of the workbook. Challenge, not sheet 1, challenge. Use some function in cell B2 to show the total simulation. Leave this. Let's go to question number 4. Create a formula in cell D4 that multiplies the quantity in B4 by price per unit in cell C4. Again, create formula in cell D4. Now go to D4. Where's D4? D4. Multiplies the quantity in B4 by price per unit in cell C4. Already calculated, but I will take to calculate anything using minus or plus, addition or subtraction or multiplication. Write equal, then select the cell here. Will show the cell name or cell reference called cell reference. Then write multiplication, that means asterisk or star. Then select the second.
هذا ضرب يعني صح يا دكتور؟ معناها الضرب اللي العلامة اللي بعد 84. ايوه
ممكن تكتب كتابة you can write the cell reference or you can select the cell reference. يعني also you can write C4 automatically will select C4 or you can select press here only will get C4. Don't forget to write equal before and a strike or star نجمة between them. After finish writing, press enter. We'll get the result. Again, equal B5 multiplied by C5. Enter. Or equal this multiplied by this. Enter.
دكتور
Use autofill to autofill formula here.
دكتور
Yes.
طب هو كيف قاعد يجمع الارقام تحت في المربع الاخضر؟
في حساب شغال عندي وفي معادلة شغالة. أيوة هون في عندي formula. Also we have here formula. Okay. I can create another formula here or I can delete it. Let's delete this. Or we have. No, I have a question for that.
طيب دكتور.
I will do something now. Instead of writing like this, let's go to write something. Right. This. No. This 15 multiplied by 3.75. We'll get the same result, but here, if you change anything here, if the quantity becomes, as an example, 16. If I press enter here now, automatically will change this, but this will not change. Why? Because I referred the cell reference, not the value inside the cell. So we usually use cell reference, not using the number. Also, I have something else. I have automatically created the dollar sign by multiplying this and this. يعني أعطاني dollar sign تلقائيا لحاله. مع إني بقدر أحطه هون، لكن الأفضل تستعمل الرفرنس بسموه المرجع، بصير رفرنس للخلية، ما بصير أستعمل الفاليو، ما بصير تستعمل القيمة نفسها. شو بصير الفرق؟ والفرق بصير إنه بعطيك خطأ إذا في حال عدلت أي تعديل هون. If you write something wrong here يعني by error خطأت وأنا عملت شيء غلط مثلا، كيف تطلع من هذا الخطأ اللي عملته؟ عملت شيء خطأ، شو تسوي؟ يا تحذفه or you can use escape. Escape will go outside the cell. Escape in the keyboard. So to create formula, I can use equal or should use equal before writing formula. Example, this is for multiplication, for calculation, for subtraction, for addition. An example, I will add the quantity here as an example. Can press here equal this one plus this one plus this one plus this one.
طيب يا دكتور ليش ما سويت على طول يعني بدون ما تكتب بلس؟
شو اعمل يعني؟
يعني في خيار على طول انه يحسب، اقول في خيار يعني او زر مثلا
بعد الايكوال حط سم.
ايوه ماشي، اذا تعرف الصم كويس ممتاز. هذا الصم حناخذه بعد 5 دقائق يعني شيء. اوكي، اعطيك المرحله الاولى create formula. Not all functions، مش كل الفانكشنز، عفوا not all formula can replaced by functions. ما بقدر استبدلها بفانكشن، مش كلهم. يعني multiplication ضرب عادة ما بستبدلها بفانكشن، ما لها فانكشن محدد. اما الجمع summation كان replaced by function called sum. نحكي عنه بعد شوي. You have something called relative reference. Relative reference. Example again. I will delete this. يا شباب الكل you should apply this now by step by step. طبق هذا لو سمحت عندك يا شباب.
ايه بس دكتور حملت نفس الملف لكنه مو بنفس الاشياء اللي فيه، ما هي نفسها، الشكل نفسه.
افتح تشالنج الشيت.
نفسها حبيبي، روح على التشالنج نفسها. اوكي
اوكي شكرا.
اعطيك ملاحظه نوت ناو. For multiplication بس equal this multiply by this. Press enter now. Sorry. Press enter. Instead of writing this formula here and here and here بدل مكتوب أكثر من مرة, just go here and go down using autofill handle. What will happen now? Before that was B4 multiply with C4. If I go down here, automatically will add 1 to be B5 and C5. Here also B6, C6. Why? Automatically will add when you go down, when the formula go down using this autofill handle, will add 1 row for each row. يعني راح يجي هون راح يغير لك اياه لحاله. Because so this is called relative. شيء بسموها نسبية، بسموها relative reference. هاي الطريقة بسموها relative. شو هي relative reference؟ إنه when you go down automatically will change the row number. This is called relative reference. When you use full handle, autofill handle from this, automatically will change the row number or change the column head. If you go here, if you go to right, will change the name of the column. If you go like this, will change the column name. So it's called relative reference. All cell
يعني
reference.
ايش معناها بالعربي يا دكتور؟
Called relative reference. All cell reference called relative reference because when copy across multiple cells, they will change the row or the column.
دكتور ايش معنى relative reference بالعربي؟ ايش؟
نسبي. بالنسبة للشيء يعني بتغير بالنسبة للشيء المكان بتروح عليه. يعني إذا قلت هنا حيتغير لونها. نعم.
اللي هو اللاين توتال الخضراء فيها غلط في الحساب.
ليش؟
ادخل عليها الخضراء اللي تحت.
هذا
132 ايه.
في سؤال عليها راح نعدل عليها مش مشكلة.
اوكي.
دكتور.
نعم.
كيف تختار لما تضغط في اللاين توتال مثلا 56 تضغط عليه مرتين دبل كليك، كيف تختار البيفور يعني في نفس انت ضغط عليه تضغط كنترول تضغط السل بي 3 بي 4 وسي 4 مره واحده ولا كيف؟
لا بس حدد كذا واختار بيغير لك اياه اذا بدك، بس اختيار عادي بدون just select the cell يعني equal without control without anything just from the mouse. Left click the mouse then right multiply by a strike, then just select C3, then enter.
Okay. Or you can write it cell names.
Also you can write cell name now.
Okay.
If you know the cell name B4 multiply by C4, enter. The same result.
Thank you, Doctor.
We have some, okay, we have something called absolute reference. There may be a time when you don't want a cell reference to change when مرات ما بدك اياها تتغير الريفرنس، يعني ما تتغير خلية لما تنسخها. Unlike relative reference, absolute reference don't change when copied or filled. You can use an absolute reference to keep row and column constant. An absolute reference is designed in a formula by the addition of dollar sign. It can precede the column reference, the row reference or both. فينا نوع ثاني الطبيعي كله بسموه relative reference، النوع العادي اللي احنا بنستعمله دائما. اسم الخلية. The cell name usually called relative reference, but sometimes we name it as absolute reference. Why? If I want to fix or to change the row number by autofill, I can use dollar sign inside the cell name. This is mean the column and the row don't change when copied. This is mean if I have a dollar sign 2, the row doesn't change when copied. If I have dollar sign A2, the column doesn't change when copied. Okay. I have example, I know, maybe in this sheet. I will apply this in this exercise. And question number in cell E4, vertex multiplication E4. Tax. Here we have some function. And average function. I will explain or illustrate some function and average function, then solve this exercise. What is the absolute cell reference mentioned here? Absolute cell reference mentioned here okay, leave this file and go to the exercise, not exercise, the homework that you apply. الهومورك عندكم مفتوح يا شباب، تشوفوه الملف ولا راح الملف؟
انا رفعته ما ادري اذا راح ولا لا.
راح دكتور راح.
This file, you can upload this file from the I will put this file in the lessons here. In an exercise.
دكتور يمدينا ندخل عليه من الجريد، نروح حق الجريد ونرفع حقنا.
عليه من وين؟
نروح حق الماي جريد بعدين نروح الى الاكسرسايز.
شوفوها؟
نشوفه.
طيب اللي ما شافه بنزلك اياه الحين خلاص.
نفسه يعني من جديد دكتور.
نفس نكمل عليها بس شغل، في عليها شغل نجرب عليها. خلينا نعمل بوز In cell C11, create a formula to sum the cell range C4, C9, and how to apply these questions, how to solve these questions. Firstly, read this. In cell C11, go to say C11 cell, C11. Then go to question again. Create a formula to sum the cell range C4, C9. Most famous problems to solve these questions, and students, when the student read this question to sum the cell range C4 and C9. Firstly, in the question, mention formula. Formula, you should use formula. Don't use some function. Usually we write in the question use some function to find out C4 C9. لما أقول formula تستعمل formula. Don't use some function. Also, the second error or mistake that done by the students. Firstly, read this cell. Then secondly, find the sum cell range C4 C9. So what happened? What will do for the error? What will do the students to get the error? We'll select this. Then write equal. Don't select before. You do the result. Then write equal this plus one plus often this cell plus this cell plus this cell plus C4 to C9. Okay. And use the fill handle over the cells D11, H11 to copy the formula. This is fill handle to D11, H11 here. So use fill handle from here. Press here and go right until H11. Automatically will change the result. Why? Because automatically when you go inside, you will see that automatically change to the next column, next column, next column, next column, and so on. Press enter here now. So it's called what? This reference called relative, because it's changed automatically when you go right. فهمت الفكره من الريلاتيف يا شباب؟ الريلاتيف معناته لما اروح يمين بيتغير عندك الخليه السيل ريفرنس هذا تلقائيا بروح على اللي بعده. مثلا بروح على هذا بصير عندك جي، على هذا بصير عمود بيتغير ل اتش، دخلت هون بتلاقي هون صار اتش. ليش؟ تلقائيا بفهم لحاله. هذا بسموه it's called relative because it's changed automatically will change to next column.
عيد يا دكتور دقيقة.
شو عيد؟ الحل ولا الحكي؟
الطريقة
كتبت هذه؟
حقتهم كلهم. كيف سحبت؟
في 4 و5 و6 و7
from here from handle here go right.
سحبت للأخير للسلة يبيها هو.
هذا السؤال هيك مكمل. أي لما ندخل as an example inside this formula you will see that the formula that we wrote here C was C. Now we have G. يعني the Excel عند الإكسل عنده تفكير thinking. The Excel can change the column name when you go right and change the row name when you go down. الإكسل ذكي بفهم هذا الموضوع، بس تروح يمين بيغير لك العمود. So we call this cell reference relative. هاي مسميها relative. But absolute cell reference, I will apply something here according to the question. Multiply, no, subtract J1 minus C5, C11. We don't have a question here, but I understand the question here. The question here subtract this from this.
يعني نطرح ال 4000 من ال 5000 قصدك كذا صح؟
Before doing that, I will change something here. Remove merge, then select 5000. Delete this. Go here. Write 5000. Okay. Then remove decimal. Now I have different cell here. Here was maybe was text. Now I have it here as number. So I can subtract. ما بصير تطرحهم إلا إذا كان هذا number لحاله. ما بينفع أطرح كلام. You can not subtract or make minus for cell that contains text from cell that contains number. So I changed this cell to 5000 to be in J alone before doing anything. Now let's go to subtract 5000 minus C11. Enter. هيك طرحنا بس ما استعملنا الابسوليوت اللي حكينا عنه لحد الان. افرجيك شو راح يصير عندي مشكله. I will show you how what's the problem that happened when you don't use the absolute. Go to right. What happens here now?
كأنه دكتور ما تغير شيء.
نزل اللي تحت.
To inside this one, you'll see that the Excel subtract K1 from D11. Why? Because it is relative. Excel know that the cell reference relative will change automatically to right. When you go here example راح يكون ماخذ هذه صح يمين بس وراح وين هون يمين go right here. It's wrong. I will use this cell but fixed and this cell not fixed. How can I do that? Go to the first cell now that you make a formula inside it.
دكتور الحين G1 ناقص C1 صح اكتب؟ معاك هنا
قدامك حبيبي سي قدامك هاي المعادلة شايفها؟ 11. Again, to fix this problem, I should convert J1 to be absolute cell reference. This is these cell references are relative. How can I change it to absolute? Select J1. حدد J1 يا شباب لحالها. Press F4 from the keyboard. اضغط F4 على الكيبورد. Will change automatically to $sign. $sign J $sign 1. Or you can write $sign J $sign 1.
ايش معنى يعني اذا حطينا بين قوسين يا دكتور هذه يعني ما راح ينتقل
If you put we'll convert this cell to absolute cell reference. What happened now? If you go right, now you will get a correct y because if you go inside this cell example, this cell is fixed. ظلت الخلية هذه ثابتة. So I tell the Excel that J1, don't move J1, just leave it as it is. But change E11. So it's called absolute and this one is called relative. Absolute cell reference, relative cell reference. واضحة؟ Again مرة ثانية.
اوكي بس على الساين بس.
Firstly, change this cell to be alone in J1. Secondly, in the question, needs to to subtract this cell minus this cell. Usually we use relative cell reference. What's the meaning of relative? When you go right or down, automatically will change to next cell, and here next cell. It's correct for most of the questions, but especially in this question, for this question, it's correct. If you go right, automatically go to the right. But in this question especially, we don't want to change this one because we have only one cell, but here we have multiple cells. So to fix the problem now, go to the first cell and select the cell that you want to fix it, or to leave it as it is, and don't move to the next don't move to the next column or row. Select the J1 and press in the keyboard. اكتب على الكيبورد، اضغط على الكيبورد F4 key. Then enter. Then come again and autofill.
وش ندعس على الكيبورد لما أشر على الجي 1 دكتور؟
F4.
F4 عندي مو هو الدولار.
حبيبي F4 بتحول لك اياها لوحدها.
يطلع لي شاشة العرض وزي كذا.
انت لابتوب معك؟
ايوه
F4 مكتوبة فوق ولا تحت؟
فوق في الزاوية.
ايش لونها؟
نفس الكيبورد.
لون الاف 4 احمر ولا ازرق ولا شو، ولا عادي ابيض نفس الشيء؟
لا العادي، بس انه في الزاوية، يكون في الزاوية فوق وفي شعار.
اضغط فانكشن اف 4. فانكشن اف 4.
ايوه استعمل فانكشن اف 4. جرب هاي طريقة ثالثة ما عرفت تسوي، اكتبها دولار ساين لوحدك. اكتبها كتابة.
اوكي زبطت. فانكشن اف 4. شكرا.
ايوه اوكي. Now let's go to two functions. Function number 1, I will go again to the absolute reference by solving the exercise number exercise number 2. I have something called relative reference, like what we use usually, and absolute reference using dollar sign. It keeps a row or column constant. We can add dollar sign before the letter and before the number. Okay. We have functions now. We have sum function and average function. Lowest, also I have minimum function and maximum function. And count function returns the number of cells that contains number in the range of cell. And count A retains a number of cells that contains any type of information within a list. This is the ملخص conclusion of the functions. Okay. Now let's go to exercise number. Okay. Let's use this the same Excel sheet. In this question, I will use some function in total. Go to total here. In the question, usually we ask you that use some function to calculate the summation between from C4 to H4. How to write some function? Equal, then sum, then open brackets, then select the first cell C4 semicolon, sorry, then select the last one H4. Automatically will select all cells, or you can remove these and select from the first one to the last one. Automatically will create the list here. Then close the practice. Again equal.
دكتور بس كيف القوس من وين بالكيبورد موقعه بالضبط؟
Equal sum. Open practice. Select the cells from the start to the beginning, from the beginning to the end. Then close it. Enter. في مشكلة؟ After finishing.
لا دكتور ما في مشكلة.
ها؟
من ايش يا دكتور؟
ما في
فتحت القوس، كتبت سم وفتحت القوس، من ايش؟
حدد الخلايا.
اوكي.
You can use also to handle, to fill the rest of the column. When you go here, because it is relative, again, it's relative. Automatically will change to the next one. Nothing constant. Average. Go here again. Write average. Also, I can use sum from the functions. To open functions here, again, I will delete the I column and use some function. To use some function, you can write some function like this again. This is the first way. Second way, without writing anything here, go to fx. Search for some function. Or you can search here, write sum, will find sum. This is sum. Press OK. When you see this window, move it and select the range of cells. Then press OK. Again, I have other way to solve the using sum. We have function library. Function library here, or you can use it from here also. Sum. Or from here. From here, I have sum. Or here, I simply use sum. For all functions, you can find any functions from insert function from here, and write the function here sum, and press OK. Then select the cells from start to the end. Then press OK. Then move the using auto handle. In the question number 2, find the average. How to find the average of January? Go here to the cell, then select fx. I don't see average as if I don't see average. You can write it average. This one average. Press OK. Select the cells from C1 to C9, C4 to C9, or you can write it here, C4 to C9. You will see the result here. Press OK. Then move the use auto handle.
دكتور لو كتبت افرج وفتحت قوس زي السم قبل شوي راح يصير نفس الشيء يعني؟
لا ما في مشكلة. equal average. شايف بعطيك هنا suggestions اقتراحات. select average. Sorry. Then select the cells. Then close the practice. Then enter. The same result. Okay. الأسهل لك اعمله. Round function. If we don't have round function, I will fill handle, change the price event to the C6, edit format to كذا كذا. Okay. Let's solve this exercise now. Leave round function to the next inshallah hour or next lecture. Let's go to the exercise. This exercise. And please save this file. We will open it in next inshallah lecture, maybe in Monday. Don't lose this file. Save, close. Now let's go to exercise number 2. Exercise number 2 from Blackboard. I have exercise number 2 formula practice. Exercise number 2 formula practice. Open exercise number 2, then go to the Excel sheet. Question number 1. Open our number 2. Click the channel tab. I am in the channel tab. Question number 3. Use some function in cell B8 to show the total of summation of quantities. In what? B8. So first you read this cell B8. We have B8 here. Yes. Use some function, huh? Not formula, some function. So I should write here some function equal sum practice. Select the cells from what? Total summation of quantities. This is the quantity. Then close, enter. Now I have solved the question number 3. Question number 4. Create a formula in cell D4 that multiplies the quantity in. Okay. Go to D4. I have solved it before. Multiplies the quantity in B4 by C4. B4 by C4. Enter. Question number 5. Use fill handle to copy the formula in D4 to D5 and D7. I already copied the fill handle. Okay. Question number.
رقم 4 شلون؟
The price.
يا دكتور شلون رقم 4 سويته؟
4 اضرب ضربنا حلينا قبل شويه ما احنا عارف كنت موجود انت؟
لا بس ما ادري انا توني منزله وكذا ما ادري كنت بسرعه يعني.
اضرب هذا بهذا. النجم ترجع النجمه صح ولا لا؟
اي ضرب نجمه.
حلينا قبل شوي لانه سجعنا حليناه مره ثانيه الان. عشان هيك ما ركزت عليه كثير لانه حليته قبل شوي. اضرب B4 by C4 بعدين اعمل اوتو هاندل اسحبه من تحت. Question number 6. Change the price per unit for the fried plantains in cell C6. This is fried cell C6. Cell C6. Change the price per unit for fried cell C6 to 2.25. So change this number to be 2.25. Notice that the line total automatically change as well. لاحظت هذه الملاحظة؟ إنه غير لك النتيجة تلقائيا. When you change anything from the quantity or price, automatically will change, affect the line total. Edit the formula for the total in cell D8, so it also adds cell D7. Question number 7. In D8, this is D8. I have wrong here, mistake. I missed D7. And the question needs you to add D7. So go here, plus D7. Then enter. Question number 8. In cell B9, use function library to calculate the average of purchased quantity. Where is B9? This is B9. I want to calculate the average purchase quantity. Average. From here, you can find average from here, or search for average. Average from here. Average. Go أو select average, then okay. For what? The question mentioned that average of purchase quantity. This is quantity. So select the quantity from B4 to B7. Then okay. Question number 9. Use fill handle to get the average of price per unit in cell C9. This is B9. Use to fill handle. Fill handle means use this. Go right only. Question number 10. In cell E4, fill tax column by multiplying line total value by tax value outlined in E3. In cell E4, E4 here. Multiply total by tax in E3. Okay. In this question, I should use relative, not relative, absolute for the tax and relative for total. I will make mistake now again to show the differentiate between or the difference between the two types. If you write as normal, we write equal, then D3 multiply by E2. Enter. This is the tax. If you go inside using fill handle and go down using fill handle, you will get wrong error, wrong result. Why? If you go inside, automatically will go down. It's wrong. I need to fix or to put E3 as constant, not as relative. So go to the first equation or formula, select E3 and press F4. Then enter. Then go again, use autofill handle, we'll get another result now. This is normal result. This is correct.
يعني هذه دكتور الوظيفة انك تثبت يعني تثبت المكان.
ايوه مش كل شيء بثبت بس خلية واحدة اذا بدي. ثبت خلية واحدة. كيف بثبت خلية واحدة؟ بدخل على المعادلة, go inside the formula and select the cell name, cell reference, then press D4 or you can write $sign before the letter and $sign before the number. Then press enter, then go to fill handle to, if you go here as an example, you'll see that multiply this one and this one. So D7 was here D4 and changed to D5, then D6, then D7. But E3 fixed. واضحة؟
واضحة يا دكتور. بريك.
اوكي شكرا شباب. ناخذ بريك ان شاء الله.